Welcome to the food safety training, Keep Food Safe. Throughout this training, we will be working on this Keep Food Safe handout. You may want to have your hard copy on hand. So why is food safety important? 1 in 6 Americans get sick from contaminated food each year. And food poisoning sends more than 100,000 people to the hospital each year. It is important to us because children are 4.5 times more likely to get food poisoning than adults. Our first topic is hand washing. This is the #1 way to stop germs. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, if everyone washed their hands, it would cut down on diarrhea by 30%, colds by 20%, and sick days by 29 to 57%. So when should we wash our hands? Before and after handling food, using the bathroom, changing diapers, and handling pets. To sink germs, scrub your hands with soap for 20 seconds and rinse. This is approximately the amount of time it takes to sing the ABCs or Happy Birthday. Cleaning surfaces is a must to prevent the spread of germs. Cold and flu viruses can live on hard surfaces for up to 48 hours. Thoroughly wash cutting boards, dishes, utensils, and countertops with hot soapy water after you prepare each food item. Rinse raw fruits and vegetables to remove up to 80% of pesticide residues. This applies to all fruits and vegetables, even if you don't eat the skin, so that you are less likely to transfer bacteria from the skin to the insides when you cut it. Our next few slides discuss the importance of food temperatures. Keep hot foods hot. You cannot see bacteria, so use a food thermometer to tell when food is cooked. Place the food thermometer in the center of cooked foods for 15 seconds to be sure food is safe to eat. This table explains the various temperatures each type of food should be cooked to. Cuts of meat, such as steak, chops, ham, and roast, should be cooked to 145 degrees Fahrenheit and then let rest for 3 minutes to avoid injury. Fish and seafood should also be cooked to 145 degrees Fahrenheit. Ground meats and egg dishes should be cooked to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Poultry, casseroles, and leftovers should be cooked or heated to 165 degrees Fahrenheit. All of these things need to be tested for 15 seconds before reading the temperature. On the other hand, keep cold foods cold. Use a refrigerator or freezer thermometer to be sure food is stored at a safe temperature. This table explains that the refrigerator should be kept at 40 to 32 degrees Fahrenheit and the freezer should be kept at 0 degrees Fahrenheit or below. The next important topic is chilling leftovers. Leftovers should be chilled in shallow containers. Deep containers stay hot in the center for longer. This allows bacteria to grow. You should refrigerate leftovers within 2 hours of serving. The number of bacteria can double in just as few as 20 minutes. Be sure to eat your leftovers within a few days. Check your leftovers at foodsafety.gov for more information. To defrost your food safely, you should use a method such as in the fridge. Separate preparation. Keep raw meat, poultry, seafood, and eggs separate from cooked foods to avoid contamination. You should use a different cutting board for raw meats to help avoid contaminating other foods like raw fruits and vegetables, cheeses, or breads. Take your temp. This helps prevent food poisoning. Thermometers help check 3 things. 1, that food is cooked to a high enough temperature to kill bacteria. 2, that your fridge is cold enough to slow down bacteria for 3 to 4 days. Or 3, that your freezer is putting bacteria on ice to take them out of action. Each facility will be receiving a refrigerator or freezer thermometer. The model is the Taylor 3509FS, and it is NSF approved. Using a food thermometer. To use a food thermometer, place the metal prong in the thickest part of the food. Make sure that the bottom end or 1 inch of the metal prong is covered. Thinner foods, such as hamburgers or French toast, will need to be measured through the side of the food so that you can reach 1 inch depth. Count to 15 seconds, read the temperature, and then wash the thermometer after each use. Activity number 1. This is to help check different temperatures in thin foods. So use a thick piece of bread such as Texas toast to practice. You may also use chicken breasts or hot dogs. When you insert the thermometer into the food item, through the side, be sure that the bottom 1 inch is covered, and then take the temperature. Sanitize the thermometer after each use. Activity number 2. Take a large glass, fill it with water and ice, and stir. Hold a food thermometer in the water without touching the sides or bottom of the cup. The thermometer should read 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. If your thermometer does not read 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius, please follow the manufacturer's instructions to adjust or calibrate it so that it will work properly. Activity number 3. Place a refrigerator thermometer in your fridge. Check and see if it reads between 32 degrees Fahrenheit and 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Any colder will freeze food. However, any warmer will spoil food more quickly. Place the thermometer in your freezer now. It should read 0 degrees Fahrenheit.
For activity number 4, providers will use one of these kid-friendly resources: the storybook from the Fight Back campaign, a coloring book from the Food Safety Mobile, an activity book from USDA, a comic book from the Food Safety Information Service, or placemats from the Fight Back campaign.
Sink those germs. Wash hands so germs go down the drain and not into your food. Step 1, wet your hands with clean water. Step 2, lather up with soap and scrub for 20 seconds. Step 3, rinse. Step 4, dry your hands. You should be washing your hands before eating, making food, and serving food. And any time after using the bathroom, petting or playing with animals, blowing your nose, touching garbage, or cleaning up waste, such as changing a diaper or cleaning up dog poop. Activity A, grow germs. You will need 3 Ziploc bags and 3 slices of bread. Label each bag: 1, control; the second, dirty hands; the third, clean hands. Spritz the first piece of bread with water and place in the bag immediately. Have kids rub dirty hands on doorknobs, handles, tabletops, or pencils, and then spritz the second piece of bread and have them touch it and put it in the dirty hands labeled bag and zip it shut. Then have the kids go wash their hands properly with soap and water and have them touch the third piece of bread after it's spritzed with water. Place the third piece of bread in the clean hands bag and zip shut. Keep all 3 pieces of bread in their Ziploc bags closed tightly in a dark space for 7 to 10 days to see which has the most germs and how they spread differently. Activity B, soap and scrub. You will need oil and cinnamon. Put a drop of oil on children's hands and have them rub it in, and then a little bit of cinnamon and have that rubbed in. You should be able to see cinnamon coating the sides of their hands. Next, have the child wash their hands with water but no soap and rub for 10 seconds. Then have the child do the same thing, water and no soap, but rub for 20 seconds and see how clean their hands become. The third try, you will have the child use water and soap and rub for 10 seconds to see how much they can get off. And the fourth round, you will use water and soap and rub for 20 seconds to see how much comes off. Then have the conversation with the kids to see which was the best method to wash away germs and why. Activity C. Soap helps separate dirt and oil from skin to wash germs off. To see this, take a bowl, put some water in it, and sprinkle pepper over the water. Then drop a little bit of dish soap into the water and watch how the pepper, or germs, scatter.
For Activity D, providers will use one of these kid-friendly resources: a coloring book from the NSF Scrub Club or Henry the Hand, stickers or posters from the Centers for Disease Control, or a storybook about fighting germs.
For Visit 2 2020 lesson plan, you will complete the assessment questions and then mark which activities you completed. Getting credit for lesson plans. Homes, a program advisor, will sign a certificate at their next visit marking that you have earned 60 minutes of on-site training for creating a plan to improve food safety at the facility. Centers, a site director or supervisor will sign each certificate. An answer key is in each center bag for the site director or supervisor. Please do not mail them to the office to be signed. The certificate. Please write the name of each participant you trained at the visit on the certificate. Record the time spent training at the facility, and the PA will sign and date at the bottom. Thank you for participating in the food safety training of 2020.